In a dismal swamp, far from the city of Malifaux, an amazing discovery has been made. Two massive pillars inside a waterlogged ruin are actually ancient stashes of soulstones. No sooner did word get out of this valuable find than two masters vowed to claim the stashes for their factions. First to arrive was the powerful beast master Marcus, followed shortly by the deadly swordswoman Viktorias of Ashes and her loyal crew of sisters.
With so much magic on the line, this battle is likely to be fierce. I'm Princess Devon for Bogo Batreps, and this is Malifaux. Marcus, who have you brought with you to claim the stashes of soulstones?
In my time of need, I called out to the wilds. The beasts that responded are 2 razor-spine rattlers, 3 mole men, my talented protege Miranda, and 3 undead canine remains.
Well, I see you're in a hurry. Let's go speak to the Viktorias. Viktorias of Ashes, I've heard you're quite the legendary fighter, but are you sure you're up for the challenge like Marcus and his beasts?
When my sisters and I assemble, nothing and no one can stand against us.
Who have you brought with you?
I've rallied several of my loyal sisters and 1 mercenary sniper. I have Taylor, a student of conflict, Viktorias of blood, 1 Ronin, Hans, 2 more Ronin, and the impressive sorceress Vanessa.
Well, good luck. Now on to the battle.
Viktorias seizes the initiative. A Ronin rushes forward, and a canine remains moves quickly around some huts. Hans consults his field manual, then aims his rifle and shoots a mole man in the kneecap for minimal damage. A second canine remains, then charges towards one of the huts. Viktorias of blood takes the lonely path and moves quickly toward the ruins. Miranda rounds the wall and also approaches the temple. Throwing caution to the wind, a Ronin rushes onto the badly weathered structure as a razor spine rattler creeps in from the other side. Another Ronin moves to join her sister, as does the other rattler. The student of conflict moves forward, then calls Viktorias of Ashes as her sister in spirit. Marcus invokes agility of the hair, rushes forward, and scratches a strange mark on the wall. He then continues into the ruins. Viktorias of Ashes looks east and west, then shoots a nearby canine remains for weak damage. Shoots again and misses. Then shoots a 3rd time, destroying the undead creature. The wounded mole man burrows to the spot Marcus marked his symbol. Taylor rushes up to be closer to Viktorias of Ashes and the student of conflict. Another mole man tunnels to Marcus's symbol, then rushes into the ruins and marks territory. Vanessa works her way around the other side of the ruins. The 3rd mole man then tunnels to the symbol and rushes into the ruins, and Miranda moves close to their surviving canine remains. After the first few seconds of this battle, the ruins are already becoming very popular. Seizing the initiative, Viktorias of Ashes looks east and west again to confirm her sisters are still nearby. She then focuses and shoots at Marcus twice, but misses both times. Behind one of the huts, a canine remains, marks territory, then shifts his position slightly. The student of conflict scurries to the end of the wall, then pulls Viktorias of blood to her using sisters in spirit. Marcus calls upon the trail of the gods to give himself strength of the bear and fury of the tiger. He then charges Viktorias of blood, who burns a soulstone to better defend herself. Nonetheless, Marcus strikes her with his powerful shillelagh. causing her to burn another soulstone and still suffer significant damage. Marcus then strikes again, causing Viktoria of Blood to burn her last soulstone and still leaving her near death. Relentlessly, Marcus strikes a third time, slaying Viktoria of Blood and taking the bait to be framed for her murder. Finally, Marcus strikes the student of battle, reducing her to less than half strength. The nearby Ronin charges Marcus. Demonstrating impressive swordplay, the Ronin slashes Marcus twice for massive damage, causing Marcus to burn a soulstone for damage prevention. But even after using the stone, Marcus finds himself at less than half strength. Miranda then charges the student of conflict and slays the wounded girl with her cobra fang. The mercenary Hans then aligns his sights on Marcus, but remembering a secret payment Marcus sent him, Hans pretends his view is obstructed and does not shoot. He then fires a wild shot, missing Marcus by a wide margin. A razor spine rattler moves toward the ongoing melee. Taylor charges Miranda and attempts a massive hammer smash, but misses, and despite the thunderous shockwave, Marcus is able to maintain his footing. The canine remains then charges Taylor, missing her once, then biting her viciously for moderate damage and a small amount of poison. A Ronin moves to guard one of the soulstone stashes and takes a defensive stance, as a razor spine rattler enters the ruins to threaten that same stash. The other Ronin then dances through the ruins to guard the other stash. The wounded mole man tunnels in, moves to the contested stash, and marks territory for his crew to defend. Vanessa works her way through the marshy swamp, far enough from the ruins that she cannot be seen. Another mole man moves and marks territory, and the third mole man moves deeper into the ruins. With each crew having managed to post guards at the soulstone stashes, each master maintains hope of claiming the great prize. Still channeling strength of the bear and fury of the tiger, Marcus cracks the nearby Ronin twice, nearly killing her. Then he shifts his attention to Taylor, but finds her a much harder target. Miranda then slashes and kills the wounded Ronin, but like Marcus, Miranda finds herself unable to connect with Taylor. Taylor then swings her relic hammer at Marcus, missing him twice. A mole man moves out of the ruins, but maintains his watch on the stash. Hans again fires in Marcus's general direction, missing him twice. A mole man then tunnels to a Ronin and strikes her twice with his tunneling claws. Despite her injuries, the Ronin hacks the mole man and sends him tumbling across the floor of the ruins. A rattler then slithers in, strikes at the Ronin, and misses. Seeing the situation turning desperate, Vanessa slashes through the swamp towards the ruins. A mole man claws another Ronin, twice for minimal damage, and the Ronin fails at her attempts to strike back. The canine remains rushes to engage Viktoria of Ashes. Seeing no sisters nearby, Viktoria slays the undead dog in a single blow. She then charges Marcus and hacks the nearby mole man as it intervenes to defend its master. She then whirlwinds, striking both Miranda and the canine remains for weak damage. A rattler slithers into the ruins and bites one of the Ronin, nearly killing her and injecting her with poison. Moments later, the poison overcomes the Ronin, leaving only Marcus's crew guarding both pillars. Acting quickly, Miranda delivers a wicked warning to Viktoria of Ashes. These soulstones are Arcanist property. Then, to emphasize the point, Marcus pulverizes Taylor with his shillelagh.
That must have hurt.
Marcus then takes a defensive stance. In response, Viktoria looks east and west, then slashes Marcus twice, causing him to burn 2 soulstones and still managing to kill him. Viktoria grins at having accomplished her secret goal of assassinating the mighty Beastmaster. She then shifts her position, barely avoiding the snapping jaws of a canine remains. A rattler strikes twice at the remaining Ronin, biting her once and injecting her with a lethal amount of poison. The dying Ronin strikes the snake with a flurry of slashes, seriously injuring it and flinging it away from the stash. Then, realizing she has likely failed in her duty, the Ronin drives a knife into her own abdomen, preserving her honor and recharging 2 of Viktoria's spent soulstones. A mole man burrows in from behind one of the stashes and claws Viktoria for minimal damage. Vanessa sloshes closer to a stash, then attempts a hurricane blast against the nearest rattler, but misses. Another mole man lopes over it and misses Viktoria with a claw slash. Hans shoots twice at a rattler, hitting it once for minor damage. The newly injured rattler charges Viktoria, striking her for severe damage and causing her to burn her last soulstone. The snake then misses with its second strike. Drawn to the scent of death, however, the nearby canine remains, charges and finishes Viktoria of Ashes. A mole man then tunnels closer to a stash and takes a defensive stance.
Looks like time's running out.
Acting with impressive speed, the nearby rattler charges Vanessa, striking her twice for significant damage and injecting a large quantity of poison. Hans picks off a wounded mole man, then misses another due to hard cover. The canine remains, then moves to guard territory near one of the huts. Drawing her ancestral blade, Vanessa swings desperately at the rattler, striking it once for minor damage. As the other rattler, a mole man, and Miranda move to guard territory in the ruins, with Hans incapable of securing the stones himself, and Vanessa certain to die of poison unless she seeks immediate assistance. Miranda and her remaining beasts find themselves firmly entrenched in the ruins.
Even though neither master personally fared very well, the stashes of soulstones and the temple itself clearly belong to the Arcanists, who have claimed a significant victory today. For Bogo Batreps, I'm Princess Devon. Thank you for watching.